Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and in this one we're going to rehouse Pickle again. So as by the title, if you guys checked out the last video on Pickle, we rehoused him into this awesome little acrylic enclosure. Absolutely beautiful. It is, I can't fault it in the slightest. It's great holding in the humidity as it traps it all just in the lid, so it makes it really manageable. But he is growing. If the camera will focus. And he's also starting to get some of his colouring too. But since he's growing, he can actually reach and latch onto these vents here, and as this lid is very flimsy, he can push his way out. I have had a band on here, but I'd rather just rehouse him into his new, larger enclosure with a cool little feeding lid. This thing's not as durable, and hopefully it'll hold the humidity as well as that has, but only time will tell. So without further ado, let's get into setting him out. Before we move our little centipede, we're going to want to make his new enclosure ready for him to go into. Pop the lid off, obviously. I'm going to use the good old Spider Life. Absolutely brilliant quality stuff. You can mix it with cocoa fibre or use just cocoa fibre. That's perfectly fine. But purely for the textures he loves to borrow, I like to use a tiny amount of cocoa fibre mixed in just for a bit of, more volume. But Spider Life is generally my favourite substrate to use, apart from when it goes absolutely everywhere. Luckily, I have another pickle container. Yeah, just scoop into there. I'm going to give him enough substrate to cover his body width. You should really give them more, but purely because he's only small at this point in time, I'm not going to worry about it until he goes into his full enclosure, and then he'll get probably about 5, 6, 7 times his width. The more the better, basically, because he's a feisty little bugger. I'll add a bit more than that, I think. Maybe one more scoopful. Yeah, like that. There. That's the substrate completed. Next, you're going to want to add hides. He does have one in there, which I'm going to take out because he absolutely adores that one. Hopefully I can find my tweezers, as I really do not want to be sticking my hand in there with him because he's a feisty little thing. Gonna add another cork bark also. This one's gonna go in the middle-ish, purely because he likes the climb. So I'd rather him not use the corners of the plastic. What we'll do is also start a burrow off for him as well. Nice little hole. Like so. Now it's time to retrieve the other parts of his enclosure. I'm sorry, buddy, I know you're not going to like this. And he's probably going to try and bolt. This is where I wish I was an octopus and had more hands. Where is he? So Pickle is currently over here. See if we can get this out without him trying to run up the side. Up there. He's working. Right, good. Put that lid on for now. Remember, always put the lid on. Otherwise you end up with a centipede up your arm in about 30 seconds. Now's a good time. Focus it, yeah. There we go, he's got some beautiful red legs coming in. I believe with time these will settle down to more of an orangey yellow colour. Same with his sort of greeny yellow carapace. That should go just to a more flat colour instead of the metallic-y tinge it's got now to it. Camera's kind of trying to focus. There we go. He's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to try and get these bits of foliage out too. So that's more things I can then use in his new enclosure. Hey. Watch it, you little thing. I know you don't like me putting away stuff, but it has to be done. Right. I'm not going to jinx it, hopefully, but he hasn't run outside the glass. That's always a good sign. Right. What I'm going to do as well is, like the last time, I'm going to put sphagnum moss in there purely because it helps a lot with keeping the humidity, and for some reason the camera really does not want to focus. There we go. Sweet. Chuck some of these bits in here and there. They're purely cosmetic. I mean, they do nothing for him really. It's just maybe, you know, makes a bit more terrain for him to hunt with. You don't want big clumps of the moss, just only small little patches here and there. And also another thing, you shouldn't really use a heat mat with centipedes because they do like to burrow generally to get out of the heat and to hide. But I've got to maintain so many different temperatures in this room. It's not economic for me to run, like say for example, a space heater to keep up to the temperature because it is quite cold in this house. So he does have a heat mat for all of these size containers, but they are along a vertical surface, so that way if he wants to burrow he can go anywhere over this sort of side, or you know, then just sort of get out of the heat really. A couple more bits of sphagnum moss. There. Also, gonna add some tufts of aquarium plant as well. Here's a pair of clippers. Take like a couple branches off. Once again, these are just purely cosmetic, but I like the way they look, so they're going in. Clip that. There. Nice little home for a not so nice little centipede. And now it's time to move Mr. into his new house. Always the fun part. First of all, locate your centipede, which is here. And now, the best thing to do is to just coax them and lean this at an angle. And then just hope that they'll just go in. I don't know if I can zoom in a bit. Sorry for the shakiness. There. Right. Let's try and rotate that round. Come on, Pickles. Look at that, into his new house. Oh, and he's already gone and buried himself. You see, it's just, that is a lot of substrate for a centipede that small, because he can get his entire body under there with no issues at all. So it's absolutely ideal at this sort of size. Probably zoom out now, there you go. Come on. There. But yeah, that has been how to rehouse a centipede very quickly and very easily. I mean, yes, he's a baby still, and I'm not looking forward to when he's massive, but for now, that is him in his new home, nice and settled. Thanks. So if you guys enjoyed the video, remember, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Stay tuned for more videos. Peace out.